about thinking is being more intentional as far as how we are applying our thoughts to our daily lives, to different concepts, solving problems of that nature. A lot of times when we're thinking about thinking, we have that default setting. It's like a computer that we always rely on, and we go right back. Or think about it like an old typewriter, that we kind of go right back to the same type of thinking, because we like, hey, that worked for us, that's tried and true, it gives us results. And a lot of times that's the only thing that we pretty much stick by, stand by, and don't think about anything else. It got to be an accident or something up here that's going on. And so with that, that determines that determines a certain type of mindset in which we've actually got to work on getting out of. When we're talking about this twin flame journey, we have a different kind of another level of difficulty, which is our divine counterpart. Our divine counterpart, sometimes it kind of infuses and goes and integrates into our brain, and sometimes those thoughts and things and what's going on with them have a way of filtrating into where we actually are. And so we got to learn how to like hit the target. I see the target truck go by. Be able to kind of like get that laser beam kind of focus as to where we actually want to go. Let me put it down, because I was talking to the DM this morning. He's like, huh, what you saying? So I figured maybe sometimes this is kind of blocking me for me to be able to communicate with that. And so I watched Divine Pisces 222, and she was talking about, again, understanding that you have that filtration of their energies, and then also DreamQueen saying about, trying to understand what is your energy besides theirs. And what gives us a unique spin is a lot of times, sometimes our thoughts isn't our thoughts, it's their thoughts. And we got to learn how to really discern, saying, okay, like, where is this actually coming from? Somebody I was watching, and they were saying that a lot of times they were saying about, like, when they got messages and things, and they was like, they had to kind of discern as to who was really doing the talking. If that was actually spirit that was talking to them, they was like, it'll come from here. But if it's not spirit coming talking to them, it'll come from up here. Knowing the difference. And so sometimes you got to reside and resonate and kind of have that spirit of discernment to know, okay, now where this thought coming from? Is this thought coming from me? All this panic and worry? Especially with the vibrations now, with the DMs kind of going through some things, and they having their own little tower moments. The intensity of it playing out on your end is pretty much it. Because a lot of times, they don't deal with things. They'll shove it over there to the other side, and then by them shoving it over there to the other side, I'm agreeing with what Divine Pisces 22 said. You got to remember, we always, and I've been saying it on my show, I call it over the rainbow, or that infinity sign. That infinity sign is not there just for no reason. The infinity, why it's always equated with twin flame journeys, is because, again, you got to remember that energy. When you throw it over there, it curves over and it comes back around again and comes back over to you, and you filtrate it. So a lot of times they do have you, I want to reiterate again, like she said, and I've said that on this show too as well, they give it to you, they throw it back. Okay, I don't want to feel like dealing with this karmic situation right now. They throw that energies to you, they suppress it. That suppression goes over through the little pipeline like plumbing over to your side. You're like, where the hell is this coming from? Now you got to deal with this foreign, it's a foreign object, okay, this foreign feeling that you have, and to say, okay, this don't feel like this coming from me. What is this? And you got to take that and say the gift that they give you, deal with it, and then take it and then throw it back to them, filtrate it. You then cleared and transmuted it across all space and time, and give it back to them. And they say, okay, now I can deal with it. And that's why I say it's so important for us as divine feminines. I know that we're tired of saying that. We the leaders. I'm tired of hearing them saying we got the anchor, but it just is, you know. We have to do that, you know. A championship, yeah, okay. We are to get into the championship like we playing for the playoffs, which is true. We kind of getting towards the end of something. April Williams and we had talked about that last night of how we coming to the end. This is the playoffs now, you know. So it's getting crunch time, you know. The other opposing team, what you could call as the opposing forces, and not the powers that be, the powers that want to be. I call them that. The powers that want to be team is pretty much manning up. They get new plays. They're like, come on, cause we want this championship trophy as well. You know, we don't want them to go on ahead and win, you know, for the kipper. As Ronald Reagan said, do it for the kipper. So, you know, we'll do it for the universe, do it for the source. And it's like, okay, let's kind of do that, you know. So we got to kind of go back in there, get into the huddle with our divine team, the A team as I call it, the angels, guys, and guardians, and whatever, and ancestors, and powers that be, all of them, light. Get them together and say, okay, now we got to kind of like amp up and come up with a new strategy here. That's why I keep on coming up with this series about this mindset, because what's going on now, we in 2020, we got the new vision. We got to come up with a new way of tackling these things. We can't keep putting old wine into new skins. It's just not going to work. And we got to find a new way of mindset. That's why I say become now conscious about your thinking and thinking. I thought about this morning a lot of times in the thinking, because if you grew up in households that had excuse me, every time I get on there I'm belching, so I must be really getting rid of some stuff. Thinking about also as far as what was talking about, come on, bring it back to me, about growing up in households that pretty much had a lot of arguing and things that was going on, and a lot of times you kind of had to make sure that y'all is not moving. But sometimes I go down and it gets worse. I'm just trying to see. Y'all is not practically moving. It's just like a standstill. We're going up. So y'all figured out how y'all gonna do that. Yeah, traffic kind of heavy today. I mean, not kind of, it is. Yeah, and everybody and their mama getting off on the exit. That's why I said, nah, that's good to a point, but I don't know. Anyway, so we get to the point that a lot of times if you grew up in households that had a lot of like argument and strife, as they said, you grow up in kind of way of a fight and flight always, or you're in surviving mode. And, you know, it's automatically that you're defending, your defenses is up, you know, your way of thinking. What are you talking about? What's that mean? Asking questions a lot of times, and always playing out the worst scenarios automatically, which don't really have to be played out. And that causes for you to kind of question everything. And so a lot of times that plays out also into your relationships, how you relate with things, or how you're dealing with the job as well. And you're in a constant kind of like panic. That's why I say you got to think about how you're thinking, because you're making decisions based upon, I'm trying to see, hold on, I'm trying to see if I can see even down there. You're making decisions based upon fear, false evidence appearing real. It's kind of moving a little bit down there, and that causes a major issue as well. I'm trying to see how far these people is going here. Yeah, they was kind of going a little bit up in there, and so that causes an issue as far as you know, how you making decisions and how you're thinking is really yeah, that was kind of. How you're thinking really perpetuates everything that you do, your actions, your reactions, and those things. So my thing is that you've got to really get control of your thinking and seeing where does that lead you to, especially if you come from that survivor mode, which really colors everything. It's almost like a color book, coloring book. You want to stay between the lines, but it's kind of hard for you to stay between the lines because you kind of just coloring everything with that one crayon. It's like, you know, you could be coloring it with all different other various shades and hues, but you just choosing to take that same color because that's what you're basing upon what you know. So it's very important that we understand that we can get control of this thinking, not only just for the twin flame, but for you to have union within self, but then understanding that sometimes that thinking is not coming exactly from you, it's coming from other sources as well. Your fear factor, your experiences, your childhood wounds, the DM, and then all that together based upon, it's interesting, based upon that creates a pressure cooker of issues that you've got to learn how to actually, that you got to actually kind of deal with as far as making the right decisions and living in the present and now. And that's what the basis and the big thing they're telling me now is just like, just live in the present. Don't think about the things about what had happened in the past. Don't think about what is going to be in the future, because I think something like that. Say if you think about the past, you become depressed, and if you think about the future, you become anxious or have anxiety. So just live in the now. That's the only thing that you can control at this moment. And so that's why I say you got to think about thinking. I'm trying to see if there's anything else they want to, because they kind of seem like they say they want to kind of keep it short and sweet and to the point. Plus my mind getting distracted because I'm seeing all this kind of traffic and this standstill we got going up here on this thing. Most time we be flying. I'm not flying today. Another message, they just saying this, like this Escape brought me the story about my parents, and I told you that my parents are twin flames as well. And this kind of give you a story of hope and understanding that a lot of times if your person is in a karmic relationship or karmic situation, person, place, a thing that could come up that's really kind of like drawing them away, false evidence appearing real, drawing them away from you and being there physically with you, to just know at all times that love is the key, and that is the drawing magnet and force that will bring you back together. I think about my parents and my mom, and she always keeps on telling me about how she had seen at the beginning with my dad, how when they had met 2 times, she seen this light around him, and it kept on, when she looked at him, he looked like he was old, like he was then of his last days, all gray-haired and handsome and distinguished. And she looked back at him, and then he revert back to his present day self, and she's like, what that mean? What that mean? And so my dad, you know, he was, he wasn't no gigolo, but he was a little Casanova. on the line, I see him looking at me saying, I wasn't that, but the ladies like him because he was cute and he was short and he was, like I said, nice, handsome package deal. And so, and they had a good heart. And so that right there, that's just a winner chicken dinner package deal right there. And for any lady, divine or not. And so he went on, he had went and found somebody else, and then he had married and had a child with that. And that'd be my sister I talked about the other day. And you know, looked like it was just hell on wheels being with her. It wasn't the best experience nor situation. This lady gonna squeeze on in. We all trying to get there. Wasn't the best situation. And at that time, and so, you know, he had to work through that situation, kind of learn that karmic lesson and see what that had led him to. And it was hell on wheels for him. The lady, the one he was married to, was doing a lot of interesting stuff, and she had her own addictions and things that she was dealing with. So it's really two karmic situations that was going on there. Dad was a workaholic, and she was actually an alcoholic there. And so it worked out until that she kind of got herself to the point that she had drinked herself, or some kind of health crisis had happened until she had passed on. Otherwise, that my dad would have probably stayed there with him, knowing him. You know, he didn't like change. Like all DMs, he was just gonna stay there to the bitter end. Until, like I told you all, spirit has a way, his higher self and her higher self, the one he was with, that he learned the lesson with, had said, you know what, I think enough is enough. We done learned as much as possible from each other. So I think it's time for me to go on and send into my next lesson, into my next body form of ascension, a level of transformation or transition. And then he's like, I think it's time for you to go ahead and be with your divine feminine. And so that's why I said, you know, don't give up hope that the powers that be do intercede and make sure that that's the plan. Mom had seen that that was the plan, that they were supposed to be together. It didn't matter about in between. It didn't matter about in between of how the story had pretty much had gotten them there, but they had gotten there because according to what they had agreed to, that's what they said. If we gonna be with each other until this part, until the end of time, until we grow old together. And that was it. Some of us secretly, we kind of know what where we supposed to really intersect. We're not secretly, we just know it subconsciously, rather, that, you know, this is the time in which we're supposed to come together. And we just got to wait on divine timing for that actually occurring. So I just wanted to share that to let you know that, you know, it does all come together. It showed that. And even when my mom and dad was kind of at it, he was like, I don't know why I came back to you. And she always reminded me, he said that. So all the ladies, I came back to you. Most times that was not my pattern. My pattern was just go ahead and keep on keeping on. But something about you, I came right on back to you. So that's just something to keep in your back of your cranium, so that you know that yes, they do come back. You know, we pray that they come back, as we're saying with these tower moments that they are occurring. They come back off a change. I know Jupiter 1111 did a light language thing. Go back on her thing and see about that. It doesn't last that long. In which she had talked about, she had did that in helping the DMs. Although they gotta have the tower moments, we can't ask for it to be removed, but we can ask that they be changed by it. And when she had did and become superior, thank you. In everything, they did show me while she was doing the light language some things. I remember the sky was kind of it was like twilight was it was, instead of the sun setting, it was the moon setting. So that means, really, to me, I think it means of their awareness and their intuition. The day is kind of giving way to them, to their awareness, and they're getting this enlightenment, really in the midst of what's going on is in their kind of like daily living. They're getting awareness, and their intuition is kind of is coming to the forefront. I seen also, while she was saying that, I seen a feminine. The divine feminine is just kind of like waiting, condensation. It's like sweating. And most of the time when you're doing that, it's a lot of breathing, sweating it out. To me, it's almost like that. The windows to the soul. So we kind of going through some things. We kind of maybe a little panicky, a little kind of under pressure as well. And she was making hearts on the window. So the window of the soul, and still saying, I'm still keeping focus, still daydreaming, still visioning about this, us coming together. Most times, when we do that, we make hearts on the windows. You know, that means like, you know, I'm pining for you, I'm wanting, you know, him, and longing for the divine masculine. So then the next scene, it turned to the divine masculine way off in the distance, like walking in the desert. Like right now, it might not seem like nothing is going on, and I'm seeing the heat waves. Like he's done really been through some pressurized heat kind of moments that done really cooked him in some ways, and has caused him to. But he's making his way towards that. I think it's like I almost remind me of that card to say it's safe to love, and like we done took 2 routes. The lady is up on a horse, and the divine masculine say I'm going in the foot. I told you a lot of times, like the divine feminine gets the horses because she's the one that's in leadership, and she's the one that's got to go ahead and kind of survey the land and the territory to see where all the pitfalls are. And he said, that's all right, I'll go by land. That way it's surefire, covered everything, and that it won't be any more enemies that we'll run across anymore. And so that's the same thing. So he came in red. So when he comes, he's going to be grounded and rooted more this time in what he actually is, as far as grounded and rooted in this idea of this divine relationship, or as my DM calls it, metaphysical relationship. Which, I mean, that was deep. I mean, this him in 3D. This ain't, you know, most time I know him and I have conversations in the 5D, ethereal. You hear me talking to him, and his energy is actually having a conversation with me while I'm doing my readings on my videos. This one that I'm talking about, this is the 3D, the physical him that actually said that we got metaphysical relationship, which means it's beyond, or I say chemistry. It's beyond that. It's beyond just having chemistry. It's more so of a deeper and a soul level that we connect. It's spiritual, and it's beyond. It's that from infinity and beyond, because they know that I see that you are the one. Ooh, Lord have mercy, definitely. But that's something to kind of like keep in the background of understanding. That's what the DM. Some of them are awakened. I think Divine Pisces 222 has stated that, and they are. He's showing that. I see even other ones and saying you can see it kind of creeping up just a little bit. It's almost like a flower, or like a lotus. It popped. That's Dad saying, "Yup, just a little bit." We open it between him and the DM. They like to pop stuff, and so it's like, yeah, we coming out a little bit. I think it's like a lotus. They showing me like a lotus flower. You know, like a lotus flower grows underneath the darkness and then finds its way up, and then the flowers submerge, but you don't know what's going on in them murky, dark waters, or even like a flower or a tulip they're showing me. It's like we're growing underneath. You just don't see it, but we are. And we show you a little bit of seedlings that's coming up where the germination process has actually begun. And so that's something that we got to kind of really keep in mind and have an understanding of, is that, you know, it's still growth. And that's the same thing, just like when in our thinking, there's growth. They're a reflection of us. So if we're seeing something that ain't right, it's an adjustment that we got to do in our thinking as well. We can't keep on saying, well, that's the DM, you know, how he rolled, that's his issue, that's his problem, yada, yada, yada. But again, like I said, they are the true litmus test as to telling us where's our growth. Are we getting better? You know, is it really? Are we making those adjustments? Are we truly doing the work as we say we are? Are we doing that cosmetic work that's just on the surface, that just look cute? So when everybody work by, say, I'm working on myself. I'm working. Like I think about Nene in Atlanta Housewives, and she's up there talking about, I'm going to see me a life coach, yeah, and then she up there raising hell and doing everything, fighting everybody. And well, that time she didn't start. The other child did slap her, and that, but it's still what your energy brought that consciousness to you, or that situation to you. So you ain't totally already got to the root of what's going on with you. Now I'm saying the root of evil, or root of all evil. Ain't root of all evil, but what's all the disconnect there? Where are you missing the mark? So, like I said again, just like with me and my DM situation, I keep on saying, okay, now what is it? Because he in surviving mode. So that lets me know somebody you're thinking, you surviving, you're not living. You got to kind of shift that. as well, because all this stuff, he should be having answers himself to stuff. And something I'm still looking on the outside or looking towards somebody else for the answers to. And I got to kind of work on that and really kind of see where is that actually coming from, that I'm looking at other sources instead of looking within. 4414. Okay, light workers. That's again, just remember again, that's for us to be able to shine light on us, to be able to shine on light on others, to show that path, so they too can be able to change their thinking. And I know that's easier said than done, but it's just as simple as taking inventory about your thought. Is this thought here productive? Is this thought here adding on? False evidence appearing real. Is this thought helping me? Is this thought actually propelling me to be the best version of me as possible? Or is this keeping me stuck? And that's a really big thing that we got to kind of really keep watchful eye on, especially on this journey. So again, just keeping on with understanding about your thinking about also about how are you viewing this. I think about also one of the readers has stated about saying about if you can't see yourself or think that this is possible as far as you in reunion or being with your DM in the physical or taking that next level, because you know, if you're communicating, that's in union. Like I said, that I got that. We're communicating. We do that. I can see him at any time that I want to. I can talk to him. Those things, that's union. You know, think about Jupiter 11:11. Say again about that union, understanding that you already. I said that the other day too about that the friendships. That's a form of union too, and how that's also a reflection of you as well, and understanding where you are. That's why, it's important for you to have develop those relationships with other people too, so that could be also a mirror, and for you to understand as far as where you are. That's also a litmus test, not only just the DM, but also yourself as far as the connections and that you have with other people. Tell you where you are in consciousness as well, and just really truly understanding that in your thinking, as far as where are you as far as union. Can you see union? Can you be union? Are you speaking union? You know, in your thoughts, you got to kind of really get control of that as well, because every thought can be a way of you blocking it as well. It's also your communication, how you have it resonates in your heart as well. And so those things are very important as far as lining up your thoughts into aligning into the things in which you want to manifest for. The Rainmaker series that Jupiter 11:11 has, very good for getting that mindset online for that. Remembering also that if you need, I'm going to my commercial now because I'm winding down. What's up to the baby Jesus manger thing? Oh, he adjusted some things. Oh, okay. Yeah, that reminds me, like, what are you giving birth to? Maybe you need to kind of rearrange the set. And remember, you the script writer. Oh, that's a good thing. Remember, you're a script writer as well to your life. And you might need to change the script, too, because what you manifested. But I have the Rainmaker. I'm able to do the Rainmaker series that she has there. I'm selling as well. That's very help you with fast-tracking you into manifesting. Also other things, don't forget the playground experience. We getting some real good feedback from that, from people that have bought and purchased that. We've got to also, in order to help you with your thinking, sometimes you got to seek other people to help you to change your way of thinking. You can't always just have that conversation just with yourself. That's why we have all these advisors, coach, and spiritual people here that's here to advise you. But you got to do that spiritual, that money exchange as well, in order for you to you know, to get. You got to invest in yourself. You know, I know I was one step on time and said, nah, you know, that's all I do. If you don't have it, you don't have it. I understand that. I do, because we've all been there. But at the same time, if you're able to, hold on 1 second, because I got to get in front of these people. At the same time, if you are able to invest in yourself, do that. You know, like I say, today is the last day for the sale for what I have on DivineUnisouls.co. Everything's 50% off. I'm getting really stellar. Everybody's telling me about how that self-worth is shifting them. The rejection is doing that, and the heart-to-heart, you know. Everybody used it. They coming to Stella Jubilee 11 years and gotten her a copy of all the stuff. And she said it just really has helped. She said it's just awesome. Okay, so I use it as well. April Williams has talked about it. I showed you her thing when she's saying that. She ain't saying it because she liked me or she loved me. You know, if it ain't something, we know have a way to say, okay, I ain't gonna say diddly squat. It's like, yeah, I got it. And that's it. But that's all I'm gonna say. No, glowing reports are that. Get that. That stuff is, you need that. You can't have the whole conversation and talk about I go rogue and I can do it myself. Thinking, also helping you thinking, get that support system. The playground is really good about the counseling that we have, guidance, intuitive guidance that you get from me, and then that energy clearing as well, as far as from the understanding the goddess thing, where she helps you to ground into the planet Earth, the 3D. I keep telling you all, as divine feminines, we need that balance. You need that ethereal. We clean up all that stuff. We get all that good stuff there. But we got to understand that Earth is where we are. The Earth is a teaching planet. And so we got to be able to become one with that energies and understanding that, and how we can become grounded, and how our body is a conduit to help us to understand how to be grounded in this thing called Earth. And April Williams is dynamic in helping you to understand that mother goddess and everything that has to do with Earth and everything, like nutrition and all the different kind of things that she help you whenever it's intuitively guided to her to talk to you about. And she tell you, okay, in this body part, you housing some things, some ancestry things that we got to release here. You know, you're like, oh, okay, that's why I got that pain in my shoulder, and okay, and that's why I got this pain in the hip. And this here is really connected to your DM. That's why we try to let you know through this playground experience, it's a whole total package deal that we're talking about. And we're doing the spirit. So we really, in our thing, we representing that, and it just brought to me in the playground experience. You know, Kathy D is dealing with the mind. I'm dealing with the spirit. And then also, April Williams is dealing with the body, but she's doing the spirit too. But the body and how it's housed in the spirit. There you go. And so that's why you need something like that to help you to do that, create that balance. That's why I say so above, so above, so below. So within, so without. You've got to create that balance. A lot of us is working on that so within, but we forgetting about that so without. And that is why it's truly important that you get programs that help you to change that thinking so you can create that balance. It's very important, especially with these times in which we're experiencing, that we understand that we got to create that balance between, it ain't just about the balance in the divine masculine and divine feminine, but creating that balance. Energies outside coming within, but we got to create that balance within yourself. Ooh-wee, yo, Lord have mercy. Well, okay, it's bad, but it ain't that bad. 42. So it's 42. So it's very important that we create that type of balance as well. It's very, she's calling it the Merkaba experience. Those of you all that's pretty much about that, and she was explaining last night about the two triangles and how you got the triangle here. This represents the woman, and one is this way. The triangle going this way is representing the man, and how we create that balance, that Merkaba, and that meet in the center. And that's why I told you it's important. They keep on showing me, like this string. You got a string on top coming from that, and then down at the bottom. That's why in your meditations you make sure that you have some kind of way that you're connected with above, like I do a stream of light. You just gonna go right on straight through it, huh? Okay, interesting. That's why you have to make sure that you create that string of understanding that you have light. You have light. You see me kind of give people the eye there. That didn't make no sense. You doing all that speed racing to come right there. That you have light on top, light coming from that. Most of the time it's like I do like a green light coming all the way down. And it filtrates all the way down to Mother Gaia, and then Mother Gaia coming back up to the heart, and then it comes out as pure light. Okay, you got me here because I'm running late, so I'm gonna do the fast thing. So again, have a great day. Until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, and stay ascending. Namaste, NAMAGO. Thank you. Love you.